Hello and good morning everyone. So it's not Cliff this morning, it's me, Kat. I have logged in as Cliff, so if you see a little message from Cliff, it's actually me. I've got the wonderful Dinah on the chat this morning helping me out with any questions that you have. I really hope this mic works. We've had a few technical glitches with the other one, so hopefully I'm loud and clear for this morning. Crackling again. Oh, I'm sorry about this. I really hope you can still hear me okay. Anyway, I'll say good morning, give you a heart in the chat. It's lovely to have you all here. Oh, crackly background, okay. Well, it's a second mic, so hopefully I don't know what the problem is, but hopefully soon we can sort it out. So we've come full circle through the heart channel and the small intestine channel. I think Basti was with you last week and did the small intestine 19 here on the side of the face. So actually what I wanted to do today was to kind of round up the fire element of the two channels, heart and small intestine, together and doing some work. And I wanted to do some face work on ourselves and also to have a visualization and a resting time at the end, because I've found recently, even though I've been wanting to do it for a long time, that actually rest is really important. Obviously relaxing on the sofa and watching the telly is great, but there's all sorts of kinds of rests, and rest is really good for you because it helps us reset and process all the things that we've done. So we'll be doing a bit of that this morning. Let's see. Can I speak a bit louder? Is that better? Maybe I'll bring the mic really close. How is that for you? Is that a little bit better? Okay. I'm really sorry about the sound. We did do a test this morning and it did sound really good, so huge apologies for this technical glitch. So what I wanted to do, if I can find a little poll, I'm just going to share with you how you are coping this morning. So I'll run a little poll for you, see how you're all doing. Okay, a little bit mixed. Lots coping well, lots okay, some neutral, and there's actually about 27% a bit stressed. Well, I'll be hugely honest. I was a little stressed myself yesterday and last night as well, so hopefully we can all get into a better place this morning. Okay. So the first thing I would like to do is, if we just sit really nice and comfortably in the pelvis, we can sit on a chair or on the floor, wherever's comfortable, and we can kneel or sit cross-legged. And then all we're going to do is, to start with, just rolling the shoulders. So gently releasing the top of the shoulders here and the front of the chest. Undoing the shoulder blades at the back. Lovely. And then just letting them melt down the ribs at the back. And we're going to take one hand onto the chest and one hand onto the belly. Look at a good electrical connection. Yes, it could be this. Okay, so please bear with me. I really hope you can still hear okay. So one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. We're just going to take 3 breaths into our hands on the front of the body. We can close our eyes if that feels okay. So we're going to breathe in and then breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out, letting everything melt on the front of the body all the way down to the ground. Breathing in, filling the space underneath the hands with air and Qi. And breathing out. And then we'll just take a moment here. You can leave your hands on your chest and belly, or you can take them away. And we're just going to listen to how we're doing on the inside. Maybe you notice a little bit of tension in your body. Perhaps your brain and mind is whirling around quite a lot. Perhaps you just woke up and feel great this morning. Yes, sorry, I am having some difficulties with my computer, so please bear with me. I don't know what it's doing this morning. So just tuning in, not necessarily changing anything. Just having a good listen to what's going on this morning. And once those thoughts or images, we can just kind of focus on them and then let them ebb away, so we don't need to hang on to them. And if our hands are still on the chest and belly, we're just going to take them away as well and gently open our eyes. Right. So we're just going to start to come up to standing, taking your time. We're going to have just a little bit of a shake out and then moving the joints in some spiral circle motion. So I'm going to come up to standing. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. So taking your time to come to standing. I'm just going to pad the feet into the floor, opening underneath the soles of the feet. That's it. Not forgetting the heels, that the heels can drop into the ground as well, and allowing the pelvis to move from side to side. So I will, in a little bit, after we've had a nice shake out and done some Qi Gong movements together, I'll mention something about how we are in the womb as a tiny embryo and the connection between the face, the heart, and the sacrum. So just padding the feet from side to side, and then we'll take it a little bit slower, spreading the feet in the ground, and then allowing the pelvis to just rest on the legs at the top. All right. We'll start with the hands actually. So we're just going to shake the hands out, allowing the fingers and the palms of the hands to be like cooked spaghetti, giving a real nice shake out into the wrists, the forearms. Doesn't matter what we look like, we're just shaking out the fascia, the connective tissue, releasing tension and any stress that we can feel in our mind and also our body. Into the elbows, and we can be gentle, or if you really want to go for it this morning, you can. Into the upper arms, not forgetting to breathe. Into the shoulders. That's great. Lovely. And if there's any shoulder issues, keep the arms nice and low. Okay. And then gently, gently let that ebb away so the arms just come to the side of the body again. Super. And then we're going to do our legs. So if you want, you can hold onto the wall or a chair. We're going to shift the weight into one foot. And we're going to start with the foot here, giving a little shake out. See if we can relax the toes. It's quite a strange one. You might want to change the angle of the leg, bouncing the toes, flexing the heel a little bit. Ooh, the computer's doing something a little funky. Excuse me for a second. Keep shaking. So shaking out the foot. It's going to come into the ankle. Nice, loose, cooked spaghetti. Or a colleague of mine recently said she uses the term wet noodles. So wet noodle limbs. You can rest the foot down anytime. Oh, yes. Sorry, Shakura's just coming to help with our technical issue. So keep shaking whilst we're going to swap over computers and seeing if this will help. So shaking into the knee. Thank you, Shakura. And into the thigh. And then if you want, you can take the legs swinging in the hip socket. If that's a little bit much, drop the heel onto the floor and give the leg a nice little shake out like this as well. Super, giving that leg a nice shake out. And then we'll move to the other leg. So swapping from the other side. Giving the foot a nice shake. Kind of a cooked spaghetti, trying to relax the toes. How's it doing, Shakura? You all right?
Yeah, do you want to, I can go on stage on this one.
That would be great. So please bear with us, we're just going to swap round. I won't talk for a second so that there's no feedback or anything. So we're working our way all the way up the leg. We're just swapping computers. So into the knee, and then the thigh, and then we're going to go into the pelvis. So bear with us for 1 second whilst we just sort the computers out. Giving them a little shake. Super.
Let me just.
How's that, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me a bit better.
I know what it is. I'll just turn this one off.
How's that? I think we're doing okay now. Thanks to Shakura, we've swapped everything over. Much better. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Thank you very much for bearing with us. So I've just changed the angle. I'll come back here. So we've shaken out the hands all the way to the shoulders, and we've done the legs, both the legs. Thank you very much, Shakura. Thanks for bearing with us online as well. So now we've got the feet nicely planted in the floor. We're going to allow the knees to soften, and we're going to shake out the tail. So it's the same. We don't have to be hugely vigorous. It can be quite a small movement, and we're just gently opening out the front of the pelvis where the hip flexors are, and into the sacroiliac joint as well, where we have the sacrum that meets the side of the hips. So wiggling out the tailbone. And if you want, you can go a little bit faster, really allowing the movement to wiggle up the spine, allowing the arms to relax by the side. It's gently opening out the heart center as well. Making sure we're breathing, including myself after that technical hoo-ha, but we're all okay. Nice shake out with the tailbone, allowing the shoulders to relax as well. Same thing, allowing that to ebb away gently as well, until we just come to standing. Allowing the breath to pour in from the head and run all the way down the body to the feet. Lovely. We're going to take the hands together, rub them together and make some Qi and energy for us this morning. We're going to come to gently tap around the chest and down the inside of the arm and then back up the outside. You guessed it, the heart and small intestine channels. So gently tapping fingertips around the sternum. Can be quite sensitive. You can go a little bit deeper around the lung channel, around the shoulder, but really gentle around the sternum at the front. Taking breaths, allowing the feet to really spread in the ground. You can also do this sitting as well in a chair if you feel like you want to rest. Lovely. And then extending one arm down. And we're gently going to tap either with fingertips or palm, very loose wrist. Slightly round the shoulder and then into the armpit, into heart 1. And then we're gently going to tap, being kind to ourselves, down the inside edge. I'll come a little bit closer. I seem so far away on this one. So down the inside of the edge of the arm, all the way to the little finger, coming to the inside part of the little finger, turning the hand round. We're coming up the outside edge. You can give this one a little bit more of a tap, all the way to the shoulder, top of the shoulder. And then you can extend it, so gently with the fingertips, tapping either side, and then coming to that lovely point that we found last week with Basti, the small intestine 19, just in front of the ear, to help release the jaw, okay? So we'll do the same, coming down to the chest on the same arm, under the armpit, making sure we're kind to ourselves, tapping gently down the inside part of the arm, all the way down to the inside edge of the little finger, turning the hand over. We're tapping up the outside edge, got our small intestine 3 that we did a little while ago, all the way up to the elbow, to the shoulder. Obviously this channel zigzags around the shoulder blade, but it's a bit difficult to get yourself. So we'll just tap on the top of the shoulder, all the way up to the side of the ear. Seeing if we can relax the jaw. Oh, allowing breath in and a yawn, if that feels good too. Lovely. And then coming to tap again on the chest, gently down the sternum. Either side of the chest here, just a little lower than our lung channel. Then we'll go to the other side, so releasing the other arm that we've not done yet, curling round and under the shoulder into the armpit. Making sure the pelvis is still relaxed and our feet are grounded in the floor, even if we're sitting, down to the elbow, inside edge, all the way to the little finger, and then up the outside edge of the arm, small intestine, all the way to the top of the shoulder, and then fingertips round the edge of the neck here, all the way to the ear. See if we can relax the jaw a bit. Lovely. And then coming back down to the chest, under the armpit, making sure we're breathing nice and deeply into our belly, being gentle on the heart channel, being kind to ourselves. Down to the wrist, and then the inside edge of the little finger, and then turning it over, all the way back up the small intestine side. Small intestine 3, that's a lovely one, into the elbow, round the shoulder, only as far as is comfortable, and then gently tapping the side of the neck into the jaw. Oh, lovely. And then taking the fingertips, just tapping gently round the jaw to relax the face and the tongue. Lovely. And then either side, very lightly, extremely lightly, either side of the throat, and then back to the chest. And now we're going to extend a little bit. I'll come a little bit further back. Hopefully you can see me all right. Actually, I will put another light on. It's a little bit dark here. That's a bit better. Great. So taking the fingertips down the sternum, all the way down, and just gently underneath the ribs, tracing the edge of the underneath of the ribs there. And I'll turn around so you can see the next little bit. So we're just going to soften the knees and allow the hands, so index finger and thumb side of the hand, gently tapping round the back of the ribs, round the kidneys, and then we're going to go all the way down to the pelvis, into the sacrum, either side of the sacrum, and then into the glutes. Now you can use a loose fist if that feels okay. Into the glutes, they do a lot of work for us, so it's nice to let them relax as well and undo any stress. And then we're going to go down the outside of the legs and up the inside, which is plenty of channels, including heart protector and triple heater and gallbladder and liver. So we're just going to give them an overall wake up and release. So using the palms either side of the legs, softening the knees, allow the head to relax, down the outside, obviously only going as far as is comfortable, towards the feet, and then up the inside edge from the heels all the way up to the hips at the front, and then we'll go down again, outside edge of the legs, all the way down to the feet, as far as is comfortable, and then from the heel, all the way up the inside. If you wish to, we can go around again. If you're feeling a little bit dizzy, stay standing. So again, softening the knees, allowing the jaw to relax into the feet, and then up the inside edge, all the way to the front of the pelvis. And then we're just going to take the hands in a really gentle circle round the belly, round our hara. So I'm going right hip up to the right ribs and across and down. This is the direction that the digestive system works in, that our guts move in. So right hip, right ribs, left hip. And we're going to start to slowly draw this circle round into a spiral until it gets smaller and smaller, and just underneath the belly button, our dantian. Drawing it all the way down and sending that lovely qi and energy into our center, into our body, being kind to ourselves and gratefully receiving this energy this morning. And then gently taking the hands away. I'll just check the chat. I think Dinah's already, oh, it's okay. Yes, Cliff is much better. So whilst we're still standing, I thought we could do a really nice practice that opens up the heart center and gathers in energy from the sun and drawing it down. It's a bit cloudy this morning in Norwich, so we have to just reach beyond the clouds into the atmosphere and find that gorgeous sunshine, summer energy of the fire element. I'll talk us through it really gently and slowly, and then we can add in some breath, and then slowly, after a little bit of time, I'll be quiet and you can enjoy the movement for yourself in your own rhythm and with your own breath. So we'll start with the feet connected into the ground and the tailbones nice and relaxed towards the ground. Sometimes imagine you're putting your hands in your jeans pockets. You can allow the tailbone to just drop down by gently brushing down the back of the pelvis. Lovely. So we've got a nice easy pelvis. The shoulder blades are melting down the ribs at the back. You can take them into a nice easy roll. Lovely, and undoing those. And then the head can just rest on the top of the spine. Super easy and growing all the way up to the sky. Nice. So we'll start with the hands at the belly level, the dantian level. And they're going to be just a little bit away from the body. So we're doing our energetic work where we're a little bit away from our body, right? With relaxed fingers and wrists. And we're going to draw the energy up to the heart center and then gently opening, uncurling the arms. And if today you just want to stay here, that's great. You might not want to completely open up the heart center all the way out. we can keep the fingers nice and relaxed but alive. And then we're going to turn the hands all the way up to the sky, softening the knees, drawing up. You can look up to the sky if that feels okay. If there's any neck issues, keep your head looking forward. And we're going to draw a circle round the sun, round that gorgeous solar energy. And then we're going to draw it down. We can all take a piece of this energy. Imagine it pouring into the top of the crown, into the fingertips, into the top of the head here. And then we're drawing it down the back of the head, round the jaw, relaxing the throat, all the way down to the belly. And then we're going to continue. We're going to connect into the earth to make sure we draw this solar energy all the way down. We're going to go round the pelvis, connecting in with the sacrum again. Up and over either side of the legs, and then like we just did tapping, we're going to go down the outside part of the legs, relaxing the head. We're going to draw around the earth, and then drawing that energy of the earth all the way up the inside of the legs. Arm curling to come back up to standing, back to the belly. And then we're at the beginning again. All right. So drawing the hands all the way up to the heart center, softening the knees and gently uncurling the arms to wherever's comfortable. Making sure we've got easy breath. Breathing, softening the knees, drawing the hands all the way up to the sun. Maybe it's sunny where you are, but I'm going to go beyond the clouds here in Norwich. Draw a lovely circle around the sun and drawing that energy down into the top of the crown, maybe with the fingertips. And it's going to pour down the back of the head, round for where that small intestine 19 is, into the jaw, the throat, down the sternum at the front, round the ribs, into the kidneys at the back. Drawing that gorgeous golden light in, up and over and down the side of the legs, all the way down, relaxing the head. Only going as far as is comfortable. So even today, you can just imagine you're sending energy down to the feet. You have to go all the way down. And then drawing a huge circle around the earth and drawing that supporting, nourishing energy all the way up the inside of the legs to the dantian. So with our breath being natural, I'm going to allow some quiet time for you now, and we're just going to go around a little bit freer with this movement, a few times for ourselves. All right. And once you feel you've got the hang of the form, you can start to be a little bit freer with it, going at your own speed. You might want to stay really slow and gentle this morning, or feel like you want to get a little smoother, swifter, washing the body with this gorgeous energy. And there's plenty for all of us. So it's taking what you need this morning. And if there's a bit where you want to slow down and project some energy through the fingers to a certain point, you can take a pause. I feel like my throat needs some attention, so I'm going to give it some. So feel free to pause when you need to. So just a couple times more. Resting when you wish to. And then when you're ready, we're going to draw the earth energy up on our last one and drawing it into the belly, our dantian. Now we can allow the hands to touch the body again and just doing some gentle circles, allowing all that lovely energy from the sun to give us warmth and energy, and the earth to support and nourish us, all coming together into our center. So from here, actually I'd like to get the chair, and we're going to work a little bit on our first our face and then our feet. I was going to do feet, but actually we'll do feet after we've touched our face. So how are we doing? We're doing all right. Super. Sorry, please excuse me. Just check now and again with this computer. There's a few messages popping up, but we're doing okay. So I'm going to get a chair to sit on, and we'll start with the face and then we'll come to our feet. So hopefully here you can see me okay. And I'm going to take my glasses off. Okay. So sitting nicely on a chair, you might want to do this sitting on the floor as well. So wherever's comfortable. And the same thing, allowing the pelvis to really settle into the chair so the front of the hip flexors can relax and the sacrum has got plenty of room as well. So we're not too far back or too far forward. We've got a gentle ease sitting on the sitting bones on the pelvis. Lovely. So we're actually going to start by rubbing the hands together, making some qi, some energy. And we're simply going to place these palms over our face, over the eyes. So I'm going to rest my elbows down and gently place my hands over the eyes. And I'm resting the weight of my head a little bit into the palm of my hands. And we can just take a moment here to take that energy into the face. I don't know about you, but I use mine a lot when I talk. My eyebrows go around, I've probably got tension in my jaw, so we're going to help ease and relax the face, okay? So resting the face in the palm of the hands. Making sure we're breathing gently, not forcing anything. Allowing the shoulders to relax and the elbows. And we're gently going to start to press. So I'm going to take the head back to the center and gently pressing round the face, either side of the temples, into the cheeks, around the cheekbones, into the jaw, and then you might want to do either side, front and back of the head. So as well as the face, we've got the whole skull. So moving the hands round and giving a little bit of a press. So it's firm and kind pressing into the head. Onto the forehead and round the eyebrows. And you might want to give the ears a bit of a squeeze. So I've got the thumbs at the back and fingers round the front. Down the lobes. And then coming back to either side of the jaw. So where we had our small intestine 19 last week. So I'm going to open my mouth and jaw a little bit. And using fingertips, pressing in to where the top layer of the teeth are, the top row of teeth. Don't worry if you look a little bit ridiculous. It's all okay. Into the top part of the mouth between the nose and the mouth. And back out again, underneath the cheekbones. We can take some circles either side of the jaw. Oh, mine definitely has some tension in there. Undoing the jaw. Then we're going to do the bottom row of teeth. And I'm going to use the thumb underneath the jaw here and fingertips round the face at the front. Gently pressing in underneath to help relax the tongue as well. All the way to the chin in the center. And back out again. So we can do that again on the bottom edge of the jaw. All the way to the center. And then all the way back out again. Lovely. And then we're going to come into the neck a little bit. So I like to hold one arm on the elbow and do the opposite side. So I'm going to releasing my head back just a little bit to undo the sides of the neck, and we can lean the head and neck into that hand that's giving a nice squeeze, undoing those channels at the side of the neck. Got a small intestine that zips round to the shoulder blade. All the way down to the top of the shoulder, giving that a nice squeeze, and then coming right out to the edge of the shoulder and to where the arm crease is, right to the edge there, giving a nice squeeze and hug. And we'll do that one again on this side, squeezing, opening the side of the neck, gently allowing the head to drop into the hand, all the way down to the top of the shoulder, edge of our shoulder girdle, and then to the crease where we've got our arm, back of the armpit basically in there. Lovely. And then we'll swap to the other arm. So I'm taking a hold of the elbow and then either side, so just behind the ear, underneath, releasing the head and neck. It might drop back a little bit or into that hand. Gently, it's kind of like a gentle but firm squeeze all the way down to the shoulder, edge of the shoulder, and to that part where we've got the back of the armpit. So we'll do that again on this side, gently opening the side of the neck, all the way down, top of the shoulder, and then into the back of the armpit where the arm crease is here. Lovely. And then from here, just giving the arms a little shake out. We'll see how we're doing for time. We're grand. We're just going to crisscross the arms over, so you can take a hold of the shoulder blades if that feels okay. If that's too much, take a hold of the upper part of the arm or the elbows, wherever's comfortable. We're just going to gently give a little wiggle from side to side. So we're opening out that mid part of the back, where we've got the back of the heart center. It goes all the way through. It's that bit that you can't reach yourself. So we're gently easing off that part of the spine, making sure still our sitting bones are comfortably resting on the chair or the floor, with an easy breath. If you wish to, you can allow the chin to drop towards the chest to open up the back of the neck a little bit more, only if that feels okay. And then drawing the head back to the center again. And then we're going to undo the arms and swap them over. So giving yourself a nice hug. And it might be around the shoulder blades or around the arms or the elbows. Gently rocking. It might be one side's a bit tighter than the other, but that's okay. We're working with how we're feeling this morning. Gently rocking the vertebrae, opening the heart center at the back. All the way down, it's gently rippling down the spine to the sacrum. Having a natural breath. And then if it feels okay, we can allow the chin to drop towards the chest. Obviously, don't do it if it's not okay. Giving yourself a nice hug. And then drawing the head all the way back again. Lovely. And then undoing the arms and shaking it out. I really like that movement. I feel it calms me down and releases any tension that's kind of top and back of the shoulders. Okay, so from here, I want to come to the feet. But before I do that, I want to show a little image that I've got in a book. I think I've shown it a very long time ago. It's from a book called A Widening Field by Miranda Tufnell. And I wanted to show what we look like at 5 weeks old in the womb. Hopefully you can see this okay. And we're this gorgeous spiral. How beautiful is that? So here is where the connection with the face, the heart, and the sacrum comes in. Because the sacrum, the word sacrum means the sacred bone. And years ago, a very long time ago, when people used to get sacrificed, they very often were interested in the sacrum, the sacred bone. We won't be doing that today. We'll keep our sacrums. So we've got actually our face is here, which is curling inwards, and we're facing the heart. And the sacrum is probably, if I remember rightly, just around here. So we're in a complete spiral, circling around ourselves, which is really nice to think of these 3 areas, the face, the heart, and the sacrum. And we're very tiny, about 7 millimeters big. So that's what we would look like at 5 weeks old. Obviously, we develop from there and grow all our limbs and other bits and bobs. So coming back to sitting, if you move to get a bit closer to the screen. So we've undone the face and the arms and the back of the body. I'd actually like to do a little bit round the pelvis. This is where we can open, and we're going to go down and get the feet. So I'll turn sideways so you can see. I'm going to throw in a little bit of yoga, but yoga and Qi Gong energy work, looking after ourselves, so it kind of all falls under the same umbrella. So keeping the sitting bones nice and rested in the chair, we're going to do a seated cat-cow. So we're rolling the pelvis under, tucking the tailbone forward, and then allowing chin to chest. And then we're going to open up the pelvis, and this is where we can extend the front, opening the chest and the sternum. And if it feels all right, you can start to look up towards the sky, keeping the hands rested on the thighs. You can do this sitting on the floor as well, it doesn't have to be on the chair. So we're opening out that sacroiliac joint, which a lot of the time holds lots of tension as well. So you're gently undoing this area as well. You might want to breathe in as you lengthen the front of the body, and breathe out as we gently curl forward. Lovely curling embryo image, curling forward to protect and take care of ourselves. And then undoing, opening up to the sun. Just a couple more, and then the next time we're going to uncurl and just come back to sitting. allowing the shoulders to roll and undo. We're going to come to the feet, which is what I've been saying all along. I'll check the time, we're great. So I'm going to take one foot up and over. You can also do this sitting on the floor. If it's a bit uncomfortable to drop the knee, you can keep the knee upwards if that's pulling on the side of the pelvis. And we're going to take hold of the foot, giving it a huge squeeze. Imagining it's kind of like clay, and we're warming up the clay for it to be sculpted, for there to be more space and movement in the feet. So as well as connecting in with the chin, with the heart channel, with much theory later on, and the wonderful Masanaga, who created Zen Shiatsu, we also connected the heels of the feet with the heart. And I think that's quite a nice connection between the chin and the heels of the feet. So undoing, you might want to take hold of the heel and gently circling the heel bone. Undoing the back of the ankle. And then seeing the rest of the foot, which direction it wants to move in. There's lots of movement side to side, flexing and opening the arch at the top of the ankle. And then we're going to take a hold of each toe. So going down the metatarsal all the way to each toe. I'm starting with the big toe and giving that a squeeze. You might want to give it a wiggle. And then the same with the next metatarsal. We've got fingers on the top and my thumb is underneath the sole of the foot. Squeezing down, opening the space between the bones to the second toe. We'll work our way all the way down to the little toe. I'm going to come underneath to catch the other side. And then the little toe edge. Not forgetting our little toe, very important. So say hi to your little toe this morning. I had a tutor a long time ago, and she said, how can you know God if you don't know your little toe? So let's say hi to our little toes this morning. And then we're going to come into kidney 1. We all know where that one is. So giving a press, you might want to use both thumbs into kidney 1, drawing that lovely energy into the body, nourishing, so we can let the heart settle, allow that stress to melt and ebb away. We definitely don't need that in our lives. Lovely. And then releasing that foot, you might want to give it a shake, and then we'll swap over and do the other one. So taking a hold of the other foot, starting again, giving it a nice squeeze like it's clay, warming it up. And then you might want to take a hold of the heel bone. So I'll show you. I've got a hold of the whole heel, and I've got one hand on the ankle, and I'm giving the heel a nice circle, spiraling the joint. And then seeing which way movement we've got with the rest of the foot, maybe side to side, opening, flexing, making sure we're still breathing as well, even though we're concentrating on our feet. And then we're going to go down the metatarsal. So I'm starting at the big toe metatarsal, thumb underneath the sole of the foot, fingers on the top. I'm working down the space all the way to the toe, giving it a squeeze and a wiggle. And then all the way across the foot, giving space to the next toe and the middle. And then moving the hand, if you need to get the other side of the foot. And of course, not forgetting the other little toe. Very important. Saying hi to that little toe. Okay. And then we'll find our kidney 1 just underneath the ball of the foot, in between the big toe and second toe metatarsal. You can use your thumbs if that feels good. Oh, feeling that lovely nourishing energy, our bubbling spring. Super. And then shaking that foot out. Lovely. I'm just going to see how the chat's doing. I think Dinah's been well away. Oh, yes, thank you. Using a footstool, that's also very helpful. Thank you. All right. So we're just going to come to a nice resting pose. So I like to do this one on the floor. So if you're okay to, we're going to move to the floor. And I'm going to just adjust the camera angle on this other computer so you can see me lying down at the back. If you need cushions, you might want to grab a cushion for underneath the back of your head or a bolster under your knees. So taking your time to come to lying down, and we're going to have the feet nicely connected into the ground because we've worked kidney 1 ever so well already. And we've got the sacrum relaxing into the ground as well. Anytime you need to rearrange or shift, please do. We're going to nestle the shoulders into the ground and making sure the head's nice and relaxed. So you might want to roll the head from side to side. Take a cushion underneath if you're finding that the front of the chin's coming up and there's a tension at the back of the head. So having a cushion underneath. And all we're going to do here is allow the spine to really rest in the ground and take the feet a little bit wider and then allow the knees to drop and come together. So basically we've got the feet like this and the knees coming together. And we're just going to stay resting here with the arms either side of the body on the ground, or you can have them resting on your body. And we're just taking a moment for ourselves. Just gently opening out the sacrum. You can have the arms a little wider to help undo and gently open the heart center at the front. Obviously, we know heart goes all the way to the little fingers. And then just checking, is my tongue and face relaxed? Is my jaw relaxed? Is my head resting? Is my throat resting? How are my shoulders in the ground? Are my arms resting, surrendering to the ground? The spine, ribs, our organs and guts in the belly. Is my pelvis resting? Is it letting go? Are my legs resting? All the way down to my feet. Are my feet resting? Even the heels. All the way to the little toes. If you're finding the sacrum opening a little bit much, just undo the knees and bring the feet back to an easy parallel. If you're happy staying here, please do. I'm just going to come to sitting, and I'd like to read a little visualization just to round off the whole session. So we've got a wonderful 5 minutes left. So I'd really like you to rest. If you need to let the legs out long or put a cushion underneath your knees, please do. This is the time to get comfortable. And this, I guess, it's the bit where we've done lots of moving and undoing and shaking and wiggling and helping all the heart and stress to melt away. and the heart to rest. So we've done all this moving, and now we can rest, which is very important for us to process, so then we've got more energy later. Again, this is from A Widening Field, Miranda Tufnell's book, and it's called Find the Heart. So you can just let these words waft over you. You can drift off if you want to. Really no pressure. Breathe into your heart and listen. Breathe out from your heart and expand. Listen as sensations or images rise and fall away through your body. Perhaps calling of whales, beating of hooves, surging of waves, or wind. Let your face soften, allowing the weight of your brain, skin, organ, and bone spread out and rest on the beat and tides of your heart. Listen and feel how your whole body receives and reflects your heart's pulse. Sense the delicate small circulation between heart and lungs. Perhaps the color, vitality, generosity of the blood's great circulation, streaming out from the heart to the furthest edges of your body. It's nourishing, sustaining, also carrying away what is not needed. And the slow returning movement back to the heart, gently receiving inwards. Sensing candescence, tones, rhythms of your heart's voice. Feeling the interchange between stillness and movement. Let the beat of your heart fill through your body, letting the body listen and turn towards your heart as the earth turns towards the sun. So just allowing those words to kind of wash over you. Even if you didn't hear all of them, it doesn't matter. And you can stay lying on the floor still if you don't want to get up. I don't blame you. Or if you want to, you can start to squeeze the fingers and toes and come back to the room a little bit. If you have your eyes closed, you can start to open them. And if the knees are together, we're going to open the knees, bring the feet back in, and slowly making your way to sitting. There's really no rush. Taking your time. I hope you're all doing okay, and thank you so much for bearing with us with the technical issue. So I'm just going to do, if you feel up to it, I'm going to do one last little poll of how you're feeling now. I'm going to share that. Only if you want to. If you're lying on the floor, just enjoy it. Oh, super. That's amazing. You all feel much more balanced. I'm very pleased. That's lovely. Oh, I think Dinah's coming on. Yay, thank you,
Fantastic.
Dinah.
That was very lovely. Thank you. Super.
That's all right. Oh, good. Very calming. Oh, we can't quite hear you, but I'm lip reading.
Anyway,
Yeah.
good.
But thank you very much. And sorry again, we'll have a little investigation as to what's going on with our crackly computer. It must be something with the computer because we swapped out the microphones. I'm glad you're relaxed. Have a wonderful day. And I think Cliff will be with you next week. Enjoy and see you soon. Bye-bye. See, oh, it's lovely. Everyone's saying hello and bye-bye. Bye.